You're watching a clip from the Club podcast.
Make sure you follow it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review.
So here you go, is a lovely clip from our podcast.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the Club. Before we get into this clip, I need to let you know that this club is brought to you by the wonderful folk of NordVPN. NordVPN is a truly fantastic service. If, like me, you have not had a VPN in your life, trust me, you need to get one. It will improve your life so significantly. NordVPN allows you to protect your browsing data. It allows you to view things from all over the world. What you effectively do is trick your computer to thinking that you are somewhere else. It is the gift that keeps giving, particularly for watching football matches that perhaps you shouldn't be watching. It's also so cheap. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee, and the people of NordVPN have been kind enough to partner with us. They have supported the club, and we would therefore ask you to support NordVPN for all of your VPN needs. There is a huge discount available at the moment. You get 4 months extra totally for free, and you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. One account allows you to partner with 6 different devices. So you pay for one account and you can partner with 6 different devices. And check this out, it is the Time Best Invention of the Year 2022. Enjoy the clip.
All right, let's move on to some massive news in terms of the Premier League potentially ditching Sky Sports and other broadcasters in this country to launch their own platform to watch the Premier League. I think we can both agree, working in the kind of the media landscape that we do, that this had to happen 5-10 years ago. There needs to, maybe you don't agree, but there needs to be a Netflix kind of style application so that any Premier League football fan can watch any of their sides at any point live, not having to watch it illegally, not having to watch it on highlights.
No, we're operating in an antiquated, unnecessary system. Like it's truly ludicrous that an Australian can watch Chelsea play at 3 o'clock on a Saturday and I can't. I live 3 miles from the ground. It's ridiculous that I can't watch the game on telly, but somebody in Canberra can, or Ottawa can, or New York can. Like that's ludicrous. The question though, and this is important, and people won't like it, but it is important. Does this rule work? Like, do you know the point of the rule? You know the point of the blackout? The reason that it exists is to preserve football attendances, is to preserve football clubs.
And it also kind of gives the Skies of the world, the BTs, the kind of the pick of certain fixtures.
No, that's not what it's meant to do. That's a byproduct of it.
Yeah, but it's connected, right?
It's a holistic rule. The rule in its essence.
I say, here's one big fixture, we televise it, the rest aren't televised. That keeps the football pyramid going in terms of live attendances. So I know what I'm trying to say is that when Sky and BT cherry pick these games, and obviously they have quotas where they have to have a Fulham versus Brentford on a Saturday night, it can't always be Chelsea, Man United. But all I'm trying to say is that gives Sky the ability to charge 40, 50 quid a month.
And then not be on the telly. You pay 40, it and then you don't watch it. That's the mad thing. You pay.
Yeah, you pay
and you don't
it.
get
It's
it.
not exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
But what I would say is, when I asked you, do you think it works? I thought you were going to say no. So the point of it was attendances and finances and finance. So basically, when this rule was devised, Man City, they were reliant on their ticketed income. So they didn't want the games on the telly because they need people to go to the stadium. That's not the world anymore.
Yeah,
if you went to a Man City game, you paid and you spent £48.50 on the ticket. What's that going to matter to Man City?
No.
That's not.
It looks good on a balance sheet.
It's not going to matter. But the 48 quid, 50 quid, doesn't matter.
In terms of signing players.
There was a time when it was huge.
Yeah.
There was a time when it was huge.
Yeah.
So the rule is meant to protect football clubs and the football club income. And the football club income now is so insignificantly affected by ticketing.
I think let's just say Brentford as an example. They're a firmly established Premier League club. They've got a stadium of 35, 40,000 people, brand new stadium. Would they be better off getting a divided pool of money from a Premier League streaming service that gets X 100 million in terms of revenue and it gets divided to them versus the stadium income and having a couple of games on Sky?
The problem is, you know what we could be tapping into here? An elitist thing by accident. So, at the moment, the football money goes into one pot and is distributed equally. What might happen is big fan bases. Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, basically. Let's say those 3, huge.
Yeah.
They do their own subscription. It doesn't all go into one pot. So Manchester United do TV season tickets and they sell 1 billion. Brentford do TV season tickets and they sell 30,000.
Yeah.
Who's going to be buying the best players?
And that's where the regulation would come in from a streaming service that's centralised through the Premier League. So the Premier League say, here are all the fixtures. You pay a lump sum. Let's just say it's $59.99.
And the money goes equal.
And then Brentford, so it's the same structure.
But if you're Manchester United,
is there an argument? Yeah.
If you're Manchester United there, you go, hang on a minute.
Exactly.
People are buying for us. They're not buying for you.
But Man United tried to split away and create a Super League, just like City. We're no better. Same with Chelsea, etc., and all the other clubs that were involved with that scheme in the current system, where there's a couple of big games every other week from BT and Sky. You have to go from BT, Sky. There's Apple TV kind of lingering on the kind of periphery of it. Amazon are getting involved. For me, a centralised platform that can evenly give as many clubs as much money as possible before the inevitable happens of the Super League may be the most valuable thing.
I don't think it would happen that way.
Unfortunately.
I don't think it would happen that way. I think what you would do is, as soon as you allowed it to happen, the bigger clubs go, no, of course we're not splitting. Swansea get into the Premier League and they get the same percentage as Manchester United.
Wigan.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
No, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that it will work. So sometimes I think it's ludicrous that we can't watch football here at 3:00. But I also think that maybe it protects us from breakaway things, from maybe it's better.
It feels very, very
it's old.
up in the air. It feels very like a rusty system. It feels very antiquated, like you said.
But overall,
is it future proof though? I think take away the kind of this idea of the money divided by clubs, and if Swansea get promoted, are they accessing the same amount of money, etc. I think we're football fans. We've got people listening to the podcast that are football fans. They should be able to watch Brentford versus Brighton Saturday 3 p.m. in their armchair as they're on Twitter.
What happens
reading the newspaper?
What happens if the system said you are allowed to do that? And Brentford, you get the money for that, a percentage of the money for that. The TV company, the providing the stream, whatever, will get some, but you get the money for it. They just got to subscribe to your service. Brother, I've lived in West London my entire life. I don't know a Brentford fan. I literally never met one. I've never met one.
Yeah. That's where there needs to
They're
be
not going to be in the Premier League. They're not going to be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal are going to have, I genuinely think, if Manchester United did a TV season ticket to watch Manchester United games and they made it a tenner a month, I think they could honestly sell 500 million of them.
Yeah.
How many Manchester United fans are there in the world? A billion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm being a bit... They sell 200 million season tickets.
Yeah.
TV. They sell 200 million. I honestly don't think Brentford sell 10,000 because they got a really devoted set of fans that go to a lot of the games. They're not going to buy it. Who's going to be watching it? I don't know how it works.
That's where the protection
fairly.
comes in to just say, look, we all divide it equally.
Are you being naive?
That's the power of our league.
Being naive by saying protect the less wealthy?
We've done it since 1990, the dawn of the Premier League, 1992, whatever it was, 93. We've done it since then. La Liga doesn't do it. La Liga doesn't protect Villarreal.
No.
Valencia. So, it protects Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Who protects? So if this happens, who protects the smaller teams?
There's a quote that says...
But this is a new thing. Why did Manchester United sign up to the quota then? I'm using Manchester United flippant.
They're part of the Premier League. And I think this is what, from reading from reports, it's obviously speculation at this point, but the Premier League are wanting to break away and do their own thing. And maybe there would be something novel about the idea of a non-BT entity, a non-Sky entity, Amazon, saying we want these games, we want those games, we want to focus on Man United, and the Premier League having a centralised control of the league, of the distribution of the league. There might be something powerful about that.
I think that the governing bodies have proven over recent times, not to really protect the most vulnerable.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And therefore, I think Sky... I'd like Sky to provide the 3PMs, but they're not legitimately allowed to do that because of governmental issues. But I'm happy with the system. I'm happy with Sky. I just think Sky should show us more and be legally allowed to show us more.
Yeah, and somewhere someone's going to ask for more money and it just becomes more of an issue. I think this issue will rumble on, unfortunately.